Hello, in this video I will show you how to create basically this geometry. A user on Reddit asked this question on r/Solidworks and it looked pretty easy to me, so I figured I would whip it up quick. And so let's see. Alright, so first we will, I guess I'm going to do it with a revolve and then subtract, Boolean subtract out the grip indentations, I guess. So I don't want this plane. I actually want I want this plane. It's funny that I don't like the way it labels the planes, but anyway, calling this the front plane. Right. So basically, it's something like this. And I could do a spline. I find that the splines are quite buggy. And what I mean by that is if I go to edit a spline later, it often, if I go to move it by the control points, it often just locks up my computer. And so I try to avoid that, using those too much, because they can be problematic. In any case, so we're going to do a revolve here. Right, and I should put some dimensions on here. It's obvious to me that is a gas cap or something to that effect. So I'm going to say that that's probably 3.5 inches wide. So this would be 1.75. Alright. And it's probably, let's just show this. It's probably more, a little taller. Didn't like that. So that's probably close enough. And it seems to have a bit of a ridge over here. I'll worry about that later, actually. I want to make this fairly simple, and that would complicate it a little bit. So I want to go top, and so there's a lot of ways you could do this. Again, I'm going to avoid doing splines. I'm going to do it really simple first, and then I'll make it more complex. So basically, I could just do a cut here, but I actually like to do a solid, an extrude, a boss, and then subtract it manually. And there are multiple reasons why I like to do that. I don't always do that, but in this case I'm going to do that, and I'll show you why. Alright, and so now I have that, and I need a pattern. So I'm going to go, I have to go to features, circular pattern, axis, this line. And I showed this sketch. If you're a total noob, if the sketch is hidden, you can't click on the line in the sketch, but there's other ways you can do it. Actually, you know what, I bet I could do, I could select this this circle as the rotation also, if I didn't have my sketch shown here. And how many, I can't tell, I'm not sure how many, if it's got 6 or 7. I'm going to say 7 just to make it interesting. And I have to tell it which body I'm patterning. And so there's that. And then we do a subtract, combine, I should say combine, and then the subtract option, type option in the combine command. Select the main body, select the bodies to subtract. And there we have that. And then we have these nice generous radii here. Let's I don't want the bottom radius, so that doesn't work. Come on, do it without the bottom. That's just weird. Okay, I guess I can't automate that, because like if I did this, it's gonna do the bottom. Oh no. Oh, interesting, because it's not like if I did this, it would do the bottom. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I'll take that. I think I just learned something. So, I mean, there's your basic shape. And I can make this bigger. I can move this. I can move this inward more. Move it out more. I can check this out. I can do this. I can scale this. I'm going to scale it non-uniformly. And I'm going to say scale it in the Y direction only. 0.6, and we'll call it the centroid. And that's going to cause me a little problem, and I'll fix it in a second. Oh no, because I only did it in the Y direction, so it didn't cause me the problem. So then if I rebuild the whole thing, I lost a couple of my fillet edges. I lost a bunch of my fillet edges. I'm going to slide this bad boy back in a little bit. See, so now we're not just circular there. Like I said, I could have done that with a spline, but this is easier to get a more cleaner look. What's the word I'm looking for? It's sometimes with a spline it can be a little bit tricky to get like really smooth mathematical symmetrical curvatures, and so I find that the scale trick helps. Then I'm going to want to create another sketch on the front face here, and I'm going to project this geometry, actually convert geometry, and then I am just going to, I know that almost looks like a V-shaped groove, but I'm just going to do this circle. I'm going to select, actually, all right, here's a trick. I want to select all of this. I could either select all of these individually, or I could say select chain. Select tangent would give me not as many. Where's select tangent? Sometimes it doesn't show up. But what I'm going to do here, watch this. Click this one and then Shift I for invert selection. And it's not Shift I. Is it Alt I? Alt I. See how that happened? Alt I. So if you need to select everything except one, select the one, invert selection, delete. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to delete it. I wanted to just make a construction. Okay. And because then I'm going to use this as my revolve. This one I will do a cut. I will do a revolve cut, which is a V for on my shortcuts. V is revolve, and Alt V is revolve cut. So there's my cut. And theirs looks much more triangulated. So I could do this. I can just turn that to construction geometry. And I could make a triangle here. And so it's a little more like it. It's a little deeper than it should be. I don't know why it's doing that, but I can do this one. Right? And so there's your basic shape, right? What else could I do here? Of course, then you would shell it and cut the threads and all that, but that wasn't the question. So I guess that's the end of the video. So well, let's just play with these a little bit. I can change the scale. I can do goofy things like go the other way. Whoa, yeah, that is goofy. Let's see. Let's move that back out. Right. So now it's beyond circular the other way. Another interesting thing I do like is in the fillets, rather than just a circular fillet. So if you go down to fillet, fillet parameters. No, it's not even in fillet options. Fillet parameters. Change it from circular to conic row or conic radius, either one. And as you'll see in these previews, it's sort of, it didn't like that. I went too much. So I don't know if you can see the difference there. So it's not actually circular radius anymore. It's I can do it. I can go sort of like this. So it's very non-circular, right? And I find that you can come up with some pretty interesting effects that way. But that's a little too interesting for me, so I'm going to, let's do the other one though. That was a conic row. That was a conic row, and then I can instead do conic radius. I'm not sure exactly the difference on these. They seem to come up with very similar oops. They seem to come up with very similar type of geometry. I'm not sure exactly the difference, but anyway, I know it's very different than circular though. And so I like to mess around with that stuff. In any case, I'm going to put it back to where it was. Just Control Z, undo a few times. And so there's your basic shape. Thanks for watching. I hope that helped. I will link it to the. I will link that post in the video description. And thanks for watching. And please like the video if you did, and subscribe, share, comment, ask any questions, any requests. Let me know. Thanks. Bye.